Well, the discussions in that direction are already underway. Several governments, for instance, have provided, you might call it a checklist, when they decide, let's consider program A or program B, let's not just look at the impact that it has on GDP, but let's look at what impact it has on sustainability, environmental, economic, social, political sustainability, what impact it has on different groups within our society, what effect does it have on social connectedness or other measures of well-being. So it's actually being brought into consideration in a number of different countries. First, the crisis brought out the fact that GDP is not even a good economic measure. The United States looked like it was doing well before the crisis, but we now realize that those GDP numbers were in some ways phony. 40% of all investment was based on real estate investment, and those real estate prices were bubble prices. 40% of all corporate profits were in the financial sector, and the financial numbers were all made up. But we also realized that GDP number didn't tell us about sustainability. That growth was based on debt. People were living beyond their means. 80% of Americans were spending about 110% of their income. It just wasn't sustainable. And so we need a metric that tells us whether that growth that occurs is sustainable. What people care about, what makes them feel well, satisfied, happy, whatever word you want to use, is not just income. Income is important. Let's not ignore the importance of income. But there are other dimensions. Something that was brought out actually a number of years ago when I was chief economist at the World Bank. We went and talked to the poor. We did a project called The Voices of the Poor. And what the poor talked about, just like most citizens talk about, they care about security, they care about voice, political voice, they care about jobs, connectedness. So there are many other things besides income. And if we just focus on income, we may actually undertake policies that undermine well-being. We might take policies that might increase income, but actually worsen the environment or, in a broader sense, lower standards of living. We've been very pleased at the reception that the report has had. Of course, the report was based on earlier work that had been done in a number of places, and most importantly at the OECD. And the work has been then carried on by INSEE, the French Statistical Office, and by the OECD, and by governments in a number of different countries. The simple message of the report that what you measure affects what you do is one that I think people all over have come to understand. The other message that GDP is not a good measure of well-being has also been understood.